Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, April 24, 2023, and this is episode number 72. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making a podcast on YouTube. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. I make podcast episodes twice a week, every Monday and every Friday, and I make them both in Dutch and English, so be sure you pick the right one. I think that's all I wanted to say in my intro. Or maybe you can find me as It's a Sarah, not everywhere. I don't know. When you are screaming on the street, where is It's a Sarah? Nobody knows. But you can find me online as It's a Sarah quite everywhere, I guess. On Instagram and on Ravelry and on YouTube. Those are the only places I am. Yeah. I share a lot on Instagram and I do it in Dutch. Every now and then I try to do it in English and Dutch both, but it just takes too much time. And Instagram has a translation button for your posts you can hit if you want to understand what I write under the picture, and in my stories I just use Dutch, and it's for fun. I'm doing it, and when I'm doing it, I also love to write in English, but I know there are quite a few Dutch people who are struggling with the English, and I just decided to do my comments on Instagram in Dutch for them. And it's all about the pictures, I guess, on Instagram. I don't know. When I follow some Scandinavian knitters also, and I don't understand a word of what they are writing, but it doesn't bother me because I love watching their pictures. So I hope you do too, and you don't understand. Oh, you can learn Dutch. Dutch is a very difficult language to learn. There are quite often people amazed about my English speaking, but it is really making 2 podcast episodes every week is for me a kind of English lesson, English practice. But we learn English at school. Even at the primary school, there are learning a little bit of English, and at secondary school you follow English lessons, and also there is quite a lot of English language in our lives through television and the internet. There is a lot of English, so it is you can't compare it with when you are an English speaker and you don't understand anything of the Dutch language. You never have to speak Dutch, or you never I don't believe you will watch a Dutch show on television quite often. Would be interesting. We do have nice. I'm not a really big television watcher, I guess, but so I am proud of myself because I feel much more comfortable. And when you watch my first episode, I never watched it back because I think I would be so embarrassed I would put it out of YouTube. I want to delete it, but I was really struggling in the beginning, and I'm still struggling. But it's now I'm having fun. I really enjoy learning speaking English, and but it's not so amazing as some of you think, because I did exams in English, so you know. But I do love to receive all the comments from people who have Dutch roots because of their parents were born in the Netherlands, or their grandparents, and it's really nice really nice to read. And I still enjoy it, and I also enjoy being a part of the worldwide knitting community. And in English that's much more easy than in Dutch. And also the Dutch knitting community is also very nice. So that's the reason why I can't choose. I just do both because I have the time and I can talk. So I can talk as much as I want, and I really love talking. So okay, let's start. My biggest crafty adventure from last weekend was a crochet adventure. But before, let's start with what I'm wearing, because last time I forgot, I think. I am wearing my Spencer Penelope, and it's quite a recent finished object. It's a Dutch design from a Dutch knitting designer. Her name is Nienke. On Instagram you can find her as Mooi van Draad. The pattern is it is a Spencer. We call it a Spencer, but I think you say in English a slipover or a vest. And I read all the comments about the words you use and what a Spencer means and what a vest means. And it's so nice to see all the difference between. There are some. How do you say it when things are the same? In Dutch we say overeenkomsten. There are some things the same, but there are also funny differences. But this Spencer is knit in Alafos Lopi, and I was a bit worried I couldn't wear it a lot because spring was coming, but spring, I don't know. It is the end of April, but spring is not coming. Every now and then temperatures are rising slowly, and every now and then when there is sun, you can feel the difference between January sun and April sun. But it is grey outside and it's raining, and I feel a bit sorry for all the people in the Netherlands who are camping right now, because we have all the children have May holiday. We call it May holiday, although it isn't May yet, but almost all the children of Dutch schools in the Netherlands have 2 weeks off right now. It is mainly the last week of April and the 1st of May. We have some celebrations in the Netherlands. We celebrate King's Day this Thursday. It's April 27. Our king, Willem-Alexander, is celebrating his birthday, and for a lot of people it's a day off, and there are all nice things to do. And in our town we have I wanted to search for that word. We call it rommelmarkt. Flea market, is that a word in English? So it's an outside thrift shop. I don't know. Everyone is bringing. How do you say it? All the words. I try to explain. You have a blanket on which you can picnic. But do you call it a picnic blanket? A picnic plate, I guess. Everyone is bringing plates and all the stuff you want to get rid of, and you put it on the plate, and then you are sitting next to the plate, and everyone is walking by, and you can buy nice things from each other's plate. In our town where I live, in the city center, we have a big park. And it's a children's, do you call it flea market? In Dutch we say vlooienmarkt, rommelmarkt, trash market. I don't know, there must be a cozier word for it in English. I love the word rommelmarkt. It sounds cozy and it's always nice. I don't know how you say it, but you will let me know. I know. You are screaming right now. Not screaming. I hope you're not screaming. You are saying it to me right now, but I don't. It don't get to me. The connection is not strong enough, I guess. Maybe because this episode's not online and you're not screaming when I'm filming. No, you're not screaming. You are saying it loud out. Okay. When our kids were little, we always went very early in the morning, and it was a little bit dark, and we had a nice spot, and we all brought hot tea, and it could be very cold, and then it always was a very funny day. But now our children are a little bit bigger. They don't have a lot of toys they want to get rid of. Only our youngest girl, she had a lot of stuffed animals, which she doesn't do anything with anymore. She used to play with them, but she's 13 years old, and that's okay. And we have friends, and they will go to the rommelmarkt, so I think we will enjoy them. Maybe not as early as they are. I'm an early bird, so that's not a problem, but it's a long day, and I really want to do some knitting in the early morning. I can bring my knitting, but I hope it will be good weather. So it's always a festive day, and there are all things in through all the country. And we do have a king, and it's more a tradition than we live in a democracy. How do you say democratie? We say in Dutch democracy, I think. Yeah, but it's a bit of traditional celebration, I guess. Although it is his birthday, yeah. And the next week we also have 2 days. Now, not really a festive day for World War II. Maybe I could tell about them next week. Now, I will tell it now. One day it's a bit of a sad celebration. It's a ceremony to remember all the people who died in all the wars, not only in World War II, but in all the wars. And then the day after that, May 5th, it's a celebration day because the World War II ended on that date. But there are a lot of festivals and festive activities but we are not really involved in that. I think it's important to remember all the sad things that happened, so we won't do it again. But it is now quite long ago, so we don't have direct family members who are involved. I do have, but it's a bit it's long ago, so we mainly know it from the books and from television, but not from real life. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's still good to remember, absolutely. We always have 1 minute quietness on that evening, 8:00 p.m. and everybody is 1 minute quiet. So that's a good thing, I guess. But in the Netherlands, we have the children have 2 weeks off, and a lot of people are going on vacation. And we used to camp, but my children are teenagers now, and they don't really wanted to go to a camping, and it was okay for us to stay at home. So we will do some nice cozy things, and also they enjoy the lazy days at home. I think the children are quite busy when it's just a school week, and it's also nice to just hang out with some friends and don't have to do all the work for school. And that's easy peasy, slow going, and that's nice. So why was I telling about this? Was I telling about what I was wearing? Oh, because spring is not here yet. Was that the reason? Oh boy. But I'm also wearing this cardigan, and I think I probably told about it before, but I will do it again because that's what I do. Repeat things over and over again. But this is absolutely my favorite cardigan. I have a lot of favorite cardigans, but this is my favorite cardigan. And it's not knitted by me. I found it in a thrift shop. It was not really a thrift shop. It was more a vintage store. And I own it for quite some years. And when I bought it, I couldn't knit it myself. I couldn't knit at all. I was a crocheter by then, and I was really in love with all the colorwork yokes. But there was no way that I could make it myself. And I was even telling myself that it was never gonna happen. So I must buy that cardigan. But I bought it when I was on a very nice day out with friends, and it was very nice and cozy. So that's a nice memory, which is in this cardigan right now. But it was also in a time of my life that I I struggled a bit with, I used to work as a teacher, and when my kids were little, I was a teacher on a primary school, and I was also a mother of 3, and that combination was quite heavy. All the work and the little babies at home, and I don't know. My daughter is at her bedroom with a friend. They are chatting and giggling. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. But in the Netherlands, yeah, it is quite common that you keep working when you become a mother, and it is quite a heavy combination, and for me it was too heavy, so I really struggled, and at one moment I quit my job, but I was so stressed and tired, and yeah, it was quite a lot, and I really when I quit my job, I was really confused. Who am I? What am I? And when I was on the day out with my friends, I was feeling better. I did recover, and then this cardigan helped me to become much more myself, the new version of myself. And that was really nice, and give me really that self-power. And I think my clothes still are helping me every day. My clothes are just giving me so much confidence and power, and I think it's really important that you too, that you wear the clothes in which you feel the best. And which clothes that are doesn't matter, because that's different for every body. Yeah, body, it's literally for everybody and for everybody, but it's not, for me it's really important that my clothes fit me, but it doesn't have to look good. Do you know what I mean? It can be the colors, it can be the material, but it can also be the memories which are in the clothes that is really matching. I always wear leg warmers in winter and autumn and spring when it's cold. And it's really, leg warmers are a part of me. I can show them. It's really, mainly black, and hand knitted socks I also wear. But I have a very strong memory of me as a 4-year-old on my first school day, and I was wearing a little skirt and leg warmers, and I asked my mother a few years ago, is that memory real? And she said, you always wear leg warmers when you were little. That was your thing. And it's so, I didn't wear leg warmers for years. I only started it when I started knitting, I guess, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. And when I put on leg warmers in the first time, I really thought, this is me. I forgot that I was a leg warmer lady. and it's also with the dress, with the Hinterland dresses. Jessica, one of my knitting friends, she made them for me at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. And when I put on these dresses, I really felt, oh, these are my dresses. This is me. And it's so, and of course it can change. But when you found the clothes in which you feel good, that give you confidence and make you feel happy. When I'm not feeling happy, and I put on my cardigan, it really helps. It always helps. I always feel a bit better than before when I was not wearing the cardigan. And it feels so, it's as a warm woolly layer, literally, but also figuratively. Do you say that in English, right? We say in Dutch, we say letterlijk en figuurlijk. So yeah, I really love that. Do you have that with your clothes too? Yeah, I really love it. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing. Okay, my crafty adventure from this weekend. I only crochet, and I only worked on this blanket, the granny square blanket. It was my plan to finish it this weekend, but I had had an unexpected busy day last Saturday, which was filled with all activities. And I had no crochet time, only in the early morning, but the rest of the day and the evening not. I had a very lovely, funny day, but no crochet time. So yesterday I realized, I'm not gonna make it. Yesterday I had to do a lot of home cleaning, and I did kwartiertjesdag. That means 15 minutes a day. I alternate 15 minutes of cleaning with 15 minutes of crochet, and it works out really good for me. Not every day, but quite often, because when I'm only cleaning, I get bored and frustrated because I don't want to clean for hours. But when I'm only crocheting, I won't get bored, but I feel my back and I get distracted more. I pick up my phone more to check my Instagram. And when I alternate 15 minutes of cleaning with 15 minutes of crochet or knitting, I feel, my energy level is really good, really high and fulfilled. Do you say fulfilled? I really feel satisfied and nice and peaceful. And of course it takes longer to finish your cleaning work, or you're ready on a later time in the day, because when I will do all my things, I would be finished in the morning, and now it was 4 p.m. But I also have crochet time, and it's really good for my body when I don't sit for hours, but I alternate sitting and moving, exercising. So it really works out pretty good. So I had a very lovely day. And yesterday evening, my husband came home from he was hiking in France, and he had a really good time, and he was also very happy to be home, to be with us again, and we were very happy that he was at home again, because we missed him. But I think my crochet time tripled in only the few hours he was at home. So I really thought, oh gosh, I'm so thankful for him that he makes it possible for me to do so much crochet and knitting. So that was really nice. But this morning I realized that there was a little small opportunity that I could finish it today before I would film. I'm quite late now with filming my episode, but I thought, what if I do finish my blanket today? And it really made me happy, and a part in me woke up. What are we gonna do? Do we have a challenge? A small part of me really loves challenges. I think crochet and knitting it is nice to create your own wardrobes and blankets or whatever, but it's also a way to relax. But I really love a good challenge now and then. And I think some people find that in their sports, for example, when you have a game, or when you are running and you decide, I will run a certain distance within a certain time. You have a goal and you have a challenge. I'm not a sporty person. I used to be, but I'm really a competitive person. I want to win. And I played in a team. I used to play in a team handball. Do you call it that? Handball? I don't know. I really loved it, but I don't want to spend as much time on it right now. But I still want that challenge every now and then. So I do it with my knitting and crochet. So a small part of me woke up and said, we are going to do a challenge. Okay, Sarah, put your phone away, put your focus on, and you can't do anything else. You can't do the laundry, you can't do vacuum. Yeah, I hate that word. Stofzuigen, we say in the Netherlands. Stofzuigen. You call it vacuuming? Vacuuming. Nee, so that's not the right word. Vacuuming. Dust. But you do something with dust. It's a vacuumer. Vacuuming? I have a Hetty vacuumer. She's my best friend. A pink vacuum. Is it with dust? Dust. In Dutch we say dustzakker. It's much more a funny word, than vacuumer. Dustzakker. I have a pink dust sucker. Ooh, that sounds really weird. Oh, but he's so cute, my little Hetty. It is the vacuumer with a face on it. It really helps me having fun vacuum. It's such a simple word, but why I'm struggling with it, I don't know. But vacuuming. I think I make a mistake. With a vacuumer with a face on it makes your life more happy than just a boring blue or black or another fancy colored looking thing. My thing has a face, and when I'm running around the house with her and she falls on when she falls because I'm running too hard, I always apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, Hetty, I put you down, and it's just vacuuming with a friend. Yeah, okay. But I didn't do it today because I had a crochet challenge. Go. Focus, Sarah, focus. It's a crochet podcast today, not a house cleaning podcast. I would love to do a house cleaning podcast. Oh, I really love to clean my house. I make I make little reels on Instagram on my Huiskamervlijt account, but I quit that because it took really too much time and I missed the talking part. I can't talk. I'm quite sure I could talk for hours about cleaning my house. But maybe it's better when I clean my house for hours instead of talking about it for hours. Yeah, let's do that first. When I do that, maybe I will talk about cleaning my house. Yeah. Okay, the crochet blanket. Make a long story short, I finished it just before I filmed my podcast episodes, and that's why I'm quite late now. So I have to focus right now because I don't have the time for a long nonsense episode. This is a bed runner. Some of you told me that. This is a bed runner from my parents-in-law. In February, my mother-in-law asked me, they moved to a new house and they had a new bed and a new closet and everything, but it was a bit all neutral colors. And my mother-in-law asked me, could you teach me how to crochet granny squares? Because I really want a pop of color in that bedroom. And she used to crochet granny squares herself, but she forgot. And I asked her, but you decluttered all your crochet hooks and yarn and knitting needles. You were done with that handwork, you told. And she said, yes, I was. She only embroiders. And I asked her, do you want to have a crochet blanket or do you want to make a crochet blanket? And she said, actually, I mostly want to have it. And I said, shall I make it for you? And she said, but that's way too much work. And I said, but no, I love to make granny squares. So I want to do it for you because otherwise I wouldn't offer it. And my parents-in-law, they do quite a lot for us. They always looked for our children. We brought our children to them when they were little and we were working on Mondays. And we still have dinner at my parents-in-law every Monday evening with all the family. My mother-in-law cooks for 13 persons we are, I guess. And we are all on a big table every week. It's quite a lot. So, and it's really cozy and nice. And it's for a Monday evening. It's one of my favorite evenings. And we see each other every week. And I guess we won't when they wouldn't cook. So it's really nice. So I said I would love to make you a granny square blanket. So she was very happy I would do it. And I dived into my yarn stash. I worked for Lang Yarns, a Swiss yarn company. I worked for them 2 years. I quit in June last year. But I made pictures for the social media in the Netherlands and I posted them on Instagram and Facebook. And I quit the job because Lang Yarns is a very nice and good company to work with. They are very generous and very open-minded. But the yarns weren't always matching my wishes and I was promoting something that I wouldn't buy myself at that moment, and that was kind of I don't know. And I also realized that I found it very hard to be creative for someone else. So to be creative for I have no problems with being creative for myself, but being creative for a company, I don't know, it wasn't flowing anymore. So I quit that. But every time when I worked for them, every now and then I received a big box with all the yarns, and it was so lovely. It was so nice. And they had all the new qualities and all the new colors, but it were all quite one-colored yarn balls, each one of each color. So mainly not sweater quantities, sometimes, but mainly not. And I was allowed to keep everything I wanted, and I did bring a lot of the yarns back in colors I didn't like or things I wouldn't use anyway, but I also kept quite a lot, and also a lot of bright colored cotton, and these are the leftovers from the blanket. I think I wouldn't use it for clothes. I guess, maybe. I'm not a very stripy person, I guess. Maybe it will come, I don't know. But for crochet blankets, it is perfect. So I searched, I organized my yarn stash in February. You could see it in my February episodes when I made them daily. And I all caked up all the messy balls. Now it's still messy because I didn't clean my yarn basket right now. But I all caked them up and I put it in my yarn desk in my little own yarn shop downstairs. And I used quite a lot for this blanket, and I still own quite a lot, so I can make a lot of granny square blankets or other crochet blankets, and I will do it because I really love it. It's really meditative, I guess, crocheting, much more than knitting. No, I don't know, in another way, but not the one is not better than another, I guess. But I started with making a granny square quite a big, because last year I made a sock yarn granny square scrappy blanket, and my mother-in-law she said, "Oh, I really love that one." So I thought, okay, let's make quite a colorful blanket. But when I make these squares, when I made them, I was not feeling it. It was too colorful. I had quite some bright colors, and also it was quite busy. So I showed this sample to her. I said, I don't know. And she said, oh, I don't know too. So I thought, let's make it a bit easier, a bit simplify it a bit, I guess. So I put away all the super bright colors. So it's still colorful, but not the bright yellows and pinks and greens and blues, but a little bit toned colors. Do you say toned? I don't know. And I also simplified the color planning. So instead of a new color every round, I did 4 rounds with the first color, 2 rounds with the second color, and 1 round with the third color, and that makes it a little bit less busy. Then I added 2 rounds of the white, and the white is it's a thrifted yarn. It's a Dutch brand, Durable. And I found it in the thrift shop. I really love the vintage label. I don't know if you can see it good. It's called Glanskatoen. It's made in Holland. Glanskatoen means shiny cotton. It's a fingering weight. These yarns are all sport weight. All the colored yarns are sport weight. And it was my plan to buy some sport weight light yarn as a main color, but I really love to use something from stash, and this was too thin, but then I tried holding it double and it worked out pretty good. Although holding fingering weight double makes DK weight, but it went pretty good with the sport weight. I used a 3mm crochet hook. I really love to crochet. There's a bit of a difference between how do you call it? A blanket on your bed. In Dutch we call it sprei. You can have a blanket or a sprei, a bed blanket. And a bed blanket is on top of your bed, and I think it's okay when the bed blanket has a little bit more tighter gauge than a blanket on the couch. I want a blanket on the couch to be more a bit flowy, and a bed blanket can be a little bit more tight. So I used a 3mm hook, and it's really, when this was a blanket for on the couch, I would use a 3.5mm, I guess. I have clover hooks. I love them. My squares are 15 centimeters, 15 by 15 centimeters. So how much is that in inch? 6 inch? Is that 6 inch? I would like to think, no, I wouldn't. I think that 1 inch is about 2.5 centimeters. Oh, yeah. So 6, yeah, it must be 6 inch, I guess. I have 14 squares. We have a big bed. Our bed is the same size as that for my parents-in-law. Do you call it a king size bed? I don't know. I think it's 220, 240 centimeters. I don't know exactly. But 14 squares in a row. And I crochet them together as you go. And I filmed how I did that in one of my February episodes. And I don't know which one, but I started this blanket on February 20. So there are only 8 episodes you have to check when you really want to know. So you can see how I crochet them as you go. But when you Google it or search it on YouTube, there are a lot of tutorials. Mine is not a tutorial. I don't make tutorials. I just show every now and then how I do things. So as you go, I crochet them all together, and then I started a new row, and I have 4 rows in total. So 4 rows of 14 squares make 56 squares, and it is only I call it a foot warmer. Only on the bottom of your bed, on the where your feet are, and some of you told me you call it a bed runner. So it's not really. It's a bit for warmth, but it's more for the look, I guess, for the look and the coziness and the color, and for a little bit of warming your feet. But it's cotton too, so it's. Yeah, it's not really a blanket. It's just for the show. I mean, it's in the bedroom. You must have a nice bedroom. Yeah, when I joined all the rows together as I go, I crocheted 1 row around them. And I also showed you, I guess, in one of my episodes, how I connect this part, because let me check in the mirror if you can see. You have 2 holes, and I don't make a cluster of 3, but I do one. Oh, I checked the terms. Yeah, I do one of this one and crochet these 2 together, and do one of this one to connect these 2 corners in the row. Because when you knit a cluster, when you crochet a cluster in every hole, it will get a bit flowy, the fabric. There are too many stitches then. After I crochet a row, I started with a border, and I used the border from Lucy from F24. When I was a crocheter before I was a knitter, and her blog was so wonderful, and she has so many free tutorials, and I learned a lot from her. And she's an English crocheter, so she uses the United Kingdom terms. And in my YouTube notebook, I write it down, because I always struggle with the different translations of the crochet terms, and I don't understand why. Why did you choose different crochet terms? USA, and I think they always say USA and UK, so I don't know. what do they use in Canada and in Australia? I don't know. I would say the USA terms, but in Dutch, no. It is as if they in UK they skipped a step. In Dutch the terms are totally different, so there's not a connection. But let me I will explain it in a minute. But let me say the row. What you do in this row, I will link the tutorial down below in the show notes. But you the first row you make little chain. You do 5 chains and you slip stitch them in between the clusters, in between the holes. So you have little bows. Do you call it bows? And you do that again in the second row, but then you do the slip stitch in the middle of the chain of the first chain. Losseketting? Chain? I don't know. And then the last row, the last round, you make a slip stitch, and then you make, here we go, a little bit of crochet term lesson. In Dutch we say een vaste. In USA terms you say a single crochet, and in UK terms you say a double crochet. Why is it single crochet in USA and double crochet in UK? It seems to me that in the UK they skipped the single crochet, but it's not. Before the vaste, before the USA single crochet, before the UK double crochet comes the slip stitch. So I thought, do they call a slip stitch then a single crochet in the UK? Because that would be logical to me. But no, they don't. They call it a slip stitch. So UK people, where is your single crochet? Why do you skip the single crochet? It would be much easier. Because let me go. You have, in USA, you have single crochet, half double crochet and double crochet. I can follow that. It is logical. In UK, you have double crochet, half treble crochet and treble crochet. It is... You just skip the single crochet when it's just, it would be the same. It would be much more easier. Okay, but I have it in my notes now so I can check it. So you crochet a slip stitch, then you do in UK terms you do a double crochet, a half treble crochet, a treble crochet, a half treble crochet, a double crochet and a slip stitch. In USA terms you do a slip stitch, you do a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, a half double crochet, a single crochet and a slip stitch. In all those scallops, you get scallops. In all those bows you crochet scallops. And I think it's really nice. It's also really easy and it gives just a little bit of a romantic finishing touch. Sometimes I choose for a straight border, but I really love this romantic touch. I thought the scallops were a little bit pointy because the one double crochet or treble, I don't know which one I have to choose. I think there are more people watching my episodes from USA than from UK, but I don't want to skip and yeah, it's very very annoying. And I tried to do 2 in the middle for a little bit more round scallop. But I was a bit afraid that I have too many stitches at the end and the fabric would be flowing because it was just too busy in the bows. Because I was doing a challenge, I didn't want to have the risk that it wasn't working out at the end, so I couldn't make it to finish it in time. So I just did the pointy ones, and when you are looking and working on it, it's really visible. But when it's far away, no one will say me, "Oh, that are quite pointy scallops, Sarah." I'm quite sure. So I finished it, and I'm really happy. It's really looking good, and it's really feeling nice. And yeah, all the ends are weaved. I have woven in all the ends. No, I weaved in all the ends. I was watching a podcast. I always struggle with that grammar of that word, and I watched the podcast, and someone said, I don't know who it was. I weaved in all the ends. So that's okay. I weaved in all the ends. And I do that as I go. So I don't keep all the ends for the end. And that's very nice. I love weaving ends, but not too many at the same time. So it's finished and I will bring it to my parents-in-law. I have taken pictures just before I filmed because I did know I wouldn't have time for it when I was ready filming. So it's really nice, a finished object. And yeah, I worked quite a lot on that blanket every morning, and it's really nice that there is some space for other works in progress. I have so many nice works in progress on my needles, knitting projects and crochet projects. So I'm really looking forward to finish my knitting projects. Tonight when we are back home I will knit, and it's so long ago. So and I'm a knitting addict, so I'm shaking. Oh, where's my knitting? Where's my knitting? So I will grab my knitting. I think I will do it in the car when we are driving. So I'm really happy to have a new project on my, to have a new finished object. And I have shared some notes on my Ravelry page, but I didn't update it yet, and I don't think it will happen today because I have to do a little bit of editing when I'm finished chatting with you, and the rest of the day I want to knit. So maybe tomorrow, but there is a little bit information on there, but I will add some details. So, and I also will add the link to my YouTube video. So if you want to make a granny square project yourself, I really can recommend it. Granny squares, they are absolutely my first crochet love, and also my first crafting love. It was my first success experience crafting. Before that I only had sad experiences because the knitting wasn't a success, and I really need a crafting success in my life. And the granny squares, they are touching my heart so deeply. It is really, I don't know what it is. A granny square blanket, yeah, everyone needs a granny square blanket in their lives. It is just so, it's perfect for scraps, and it's just a nice, I don't know the word, doing something different than knitting when you are a knitter. It's nice for your hands. I'm a continental knitter. I think continental knitting and crocheting are quite familiar to each other, although you have one needle less. But it's, yeah, I really a lot of crocheters have more success with knitting continental because I don't know, it feels a little bit the same. But crocheting is so nice for all the blankets, and I'm really looking forward to the new book of the Iron Lamp. What's her name? Claudette or Claudine? Oh, I wrote it down. Claudine from Iron Lamp, and I saw a picture on her Instagram today from a lovely, I told about it before, from a lovely granny stitch sweater. I really need that in my life. I think it will be available in May, and I will absolutely make one because it's just what I need in my life. But I really prefer knitting for garments, and but crochet is so much fun to do. So when you are only a knitter and you're a bit curious, I can only encourage you, I guess. Encourage? I don't know. I will be your cheerleader. Go crochet! Do both if you can. Okay. I think it's enough for today, and I also see the time. It's really late in the afternoon. Normally I am quite earlier. I'm ready quite earlier, and now I really have to rush to get it online in time before we go. But this was really worth it because I have a finished object, and I really enjoyed my chatting with you. To you, it's not really. So thank you for that, and I think think I will have an episode on Friday. We have holidays, so I want to have a little bit of freedom. I always have freedom, of course, but I really enjoy making episodes. I really enjoy it. And if we have other plans, it may change, but I don't think it, because we have a busy day on Saturday and a busy day on Thursday. And we always love a little bit of resting day in between. And then I can chat, I can make my episodes. That will work out pretty good. So I hope you enjoy a lot of knitting time, maybe crochet time. I will enjoy my knits. Oh, I'm so looking forward to it. And I will tell you all about it this Friday. Have a nice week. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.